Hey guys, Gary here from iGPS Fitness, back again. Second video on the channel, and today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be running over a few supplements that I will be taking during my shredding period, and along with that, giving you a brief description of what they do, how they do it. Now, a quick disclaimer beforehand, you do not need supplements in a diet. You do not need them. They are basically a way to get your macros in, get all the nutrients your body needs without eating more. You don't need them. The best way to do this would be actually eat the food. Now for me, that would be expensive. Meat itself is really expensive to the quantities that I'd be requiring to even hit my protein nutrients. So it is optional, you don't need them, but it will make your life a little bit easier during the shredding phase. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get straight into it, and I'll go through all the supplements that I've got in front of me and what they do, how they do it, as much information as I know. Obviously this isn't everything about the supplement, I don't know everything. Give it a watch, see what you think. I'll see you in a second. So guys, I'm back, and as you can see I've got a lineup of supplements on my bed. Sorry about the poor quality on the last video. I don't know why it rendered in 360p. I'm not sure if this one's going to do the same. It's saying 60 FPS. I will invest in the camera at some point. At the moment, we're stuck with an iPhone 6. So, what I'll start off with is I'll start off with the good old-fashioned, gold standard, 100% whey protein. Now, again, my hands are a little bit shaky, and I have no idea why that is. Now, if you're going to use any protein, this is my go-to. It's 24 grams of protein per serving. I actually take 2 servings with every shake, mainly because it fills you up a little bit more and it tastes good. This one's actually vanilla ice cream flavour. So as you can see, these are the little bits. So you got 5.5 grams of branched chain amino acids, or BCAAs, whatever you want to call them, and 4 grams of glutamine, which basically will keep you fuller, and it will help you rebuild your muscles quicker. This one is if you don't want to take supplements, or you're just trying them out, this one is very safe. This one has no side effects, nothing to it. It's literally blended down food, powder form food, tastes good, ice cream flavour. It's basically a milkshake that's not as fattening. It's not obviously as tasty as a milkshake, but it's really nice. I really like them. It does take a little while to get used to them when you first start. When I've suggested them to people and they've started taking protein shakes and things to try and lose a bit of weight, they've all said, "Oh, this tastes horrible." Well, actually after a while you'll find that it tastes good. If you're not finding that you like the gold standard, try a different one. Another one that tastes really good if you're just starting out on protein is SkyTech Nutrition. I think I'm saying their name right, but they're really good. They're really thick, we'll use a lot of water. Or potentially with this one you could try some milk instead. Add extra bit of protein, turns it into more of a milkshake. But for a shredding season, probably best to use water. Now onto the next one. Now what we have here is SkyTech Nutrition again. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It's a multivitamin. To be fair, I think everyone should be taking these anyway. I think you should be taking a multivitamin of some kind. This happens to be my one of choice, mainly because it has pretty much everything you're going to need. Now, it's more than enough for your body. It is a bit of overkill in my opinion, but it's something that you've got to appreciate when it comes to vitamins and things like that. The RDA doesn't necessarily apply to you. If you're a 300-pound man and you're weighing in or say for example, we'll talk about the power lifter Brian Shaw. He's 6'8" and he weighs in at 440 pounds. He's not going to need the same amount of vitamins as me, who's 6'3" and around about 180 pounds. He's going to need more than 3 times the amount. This is why these supplement companies put so much in, so that the people like Brian Shaw can take this and get enough out of them. So yes, this has an extreme amount, so much so that it does actually turn my urine green, but it's quite of a cool side effect, I think. Definitely take these. In here you get little sachets, so you get 30 packets as you can see. Each one of them has about 6 or 7 different tablets in. Some of them are quite big, but definitely worth it. I'll go back to the whey protein now. The whey protein is you're looking about between 35 to 50 pounds for this tub. This is probably the most expensive one in my stack here. But as I say, it's just food. This is between, I think I paid £17.99 off Amazon for this. Obviously this is British pounds. But yeah, so this one's definitely another one that I would definitely take. Now on to the more choice ones. You can give or take if you want to take. We've got a branch chain amino acid blend here from Rich Piana. Now, you're probably thinking branch chain amino acid, why are you getting all fancy? Basically it's BCAAs, again, that was in the protein. Now this is just basically blended down micronutrients from a protein source, which most of the time they come from red meat. BCAAs, I'm going to be taking these during my workouts. Probably about 15 grams, round about, that's probably about the same as one scoop. What this will do is it'll keep, it's a muscle feeder basically, it even says it on there. This will keep you fuller and your muscles will not be burnt into as easily, if that makes sense. So instead of using your actual muscle tissue that you put on as a fuel source, it will be using these branch chain amino acids as a fuel source if you're doing fasted things at 4 o'clock in the morning like I will be. I wouldn't suggest taking these during maintenance or growing periods, but definitely in a shredding period I think this is necessary. Mainly because if you're growing or bulking or whatever it is, anything above maintenance calorie wise, you should be able to get your branch chain amino acids or micronutrients in your daily diet. So this is literally just because I'm shredding and I want to keep a bit of the muscle that I put on in the last 8 months. I've picked Rich Piana's 5%, All Day You May. Now I've tried this before, it's a little bit more expensive, there are a lot cheaper versions out there, but it tastes really good and it did the trick for me. This one's lemon and lime flavour. I can't remember if I tried this before, I probably have. I really like Rich Piana's stuff. He's very honest in his videos about what it does and how it does it, and he really does cut all the rubbish out of it. I'm going to try not to swear in this, but you know what word I'm thinking. He does actually say to take it, sip it throughout the day. I don't think that's necessary for the average person, mainly because he's knocking on, actually he's just gained over 300 pounds. Not gained over 300 pounds, but he's gone over 300 pounds. Maybe for someone that size, yes, because your muscles are a lot bigger, you're going to need a lot more, as going back to what I was saying about the vitamins. But I think for the average person, I don't think that's necessary. You're probably only going to want to take maximum 15 grams twice daily, but I'm going to be taking one scoop. I'm not that big of a guy. I think that's all you need. But as I say, not qualified, so do what you like. This is quite an expensive product. It is £30, and that's off Amazon, and that's quite a cheap price on it. Now the next one, which is probably going to be the most controversial, if you guys leave any comments, this will be the one that you comment about. It is a fat burner. Animal Cuts, I've used it before. It is not really for someone, from what I've gathered from it. I used it probably at the wrong time of when I was shredding last year. As I said last year, I was 16 stone 7 and went down to 12 stone 1. I lost a lot of weight. However, I think from what I've gathered on it afterwards, after doing my research, is that you're meant to be using it when you're getting down to those extreme body fats. For example, if you're 8% and you're wanting to go down to 5% or less, this would be the time to use it. It does have a thyroid enhancer in it, which I'm not really sure what half of these do. I'll just tell you how to use it. The thyroid complex itself, it sounds scary. I'm not sure whether I'm going to use it. I might do if I'm feeling like it's not going quickly enough or whatever, but that's only because I know what I can do. Remember, this isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. For me, because I'm already quite lean from my bulk, I went a lot leaner than I was expecting. I'm only going to be doing 2 months. Whereas you guys might need, if this is your first shred, I did 4 months. It sucked, but I did 4 months, and it definitely paid off in the end. Now, when taking this, I took it 15 minutes before I woke up, and thinking, how the hell did you do that? I set my alarm 15 minutes before, so I think at the time it was 5:45 in the morning. So I'd set it for 5:45, take the 9 pills that were in a packet, take 9 pills, go back to sleep for 15 minutes. That's when these first little things come in. The thyroid, the metabolic, and the stimulant complex. What this would do is the stimulant will wake you up. So that little bit there, the caffeine, is very, very basic stimulants. The metabolic stuff, I completely agree with all of this. Green tea, oolong tea, they're pretty much very natural products. I think these are fine. I would take these anyway if they weren't in a little packet ready for me. It's just really convenient. My hand's looking really red in this, I don't know why. The thyroid, I'm not really sure. Olive leaf tea, olive leaf extract, sorry. And yeah, as I say, I'm going to do a little bit more research on that, and I will update you as and when if I'm taking it or not. But these two would kick in the morning when I was in the shower. I always shower when I get up. What they would do is it would give you a little side effect of feeling a little bit sick. However, you'd be well up and ready for doing anything, which is great when you're cutting because you really want to get up, cook your food. You want to make sure you start off the day properly. So if you're cooking your food for breakfast, egg whites, whatever you choose to have in the morning, low carbs, go for that. It does help. Now, I'm probably not going to take these. We'll see how it goes. As I say, depending on my progress with whether I'm going to take them. If you guys want to take them, these are about £17, but don't take them unless you really know unless you do your research first, basically, I'm saying. I was stupid, took a risk, luckily I got away with it. Some supplements can do you harm. All these supplements here are not as regulated as the drug industry. The supplement industry is not as safe as it may seem on the packet. So be careful. Right, anyway, on to the next one, which is my pre-workout, which for me is very key. I work out early in the morning, as I said before, so I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I then get on the bus. I don't drive, so I get on the bus and go to my gym. My bus leaves at 20 to 5. Get in around 5. So this wakes me up in the morning, basically. It's C4 by Cellucor. It's really, really good. I actually saw it through a YouTuber that I watch called Callum Von Moa. This is a really good pre-workout. Most pre-workouts do quite a lot for me. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but it doesn't affect me much. Meaning, I don't need a lot to kick my ass, basically. So this is ideal for me. It's not overly strong, but it's just enough to kick me out of bed. So you're meant to take it about 30 minutes before you work out. What I do is I always do 15 minutes cardio, 15 minutes abs before I start training, quote unquote. So it's just to get my body moving and the joints and the blood flowing, but I'll go into that deeper in a different video. I will take this as I'm doing my cardio. So it gets into my system just for when I need it for the compound movements or whatever I plan on doing. So I would definitely suggest getting a pre-workout of some kind. C4 is basically, it sounds cool and it tastes good, and I can't see any really downsides with it other than it's about 20 odd pounds for this tub. You do get 60 servings. I'm quite liking the new container actually. They did recently change it from a black container to a silver container. Blue Raz is the Icy Blue Raz, sorry, is the flavour I'm rocking at the moment. Haven't tried any others on it. I've tried again Rich Piana's ones. They were quite nice, but they had hints of creatine in them, which I wasn't sure on. I didn't know why he put that in there, but you know, he must have had his reason. Another great thing with these is that they don't have like a drop to them. So with a coffee or something, you often find that you get a drop later on where you're feeling really down or just need awakening. This you don't. This will slowly bring you down nice and gently throughout the day so that you can get on and go to work as a normal person would. Again, I don't think this has much caffeine in it. It actually doesn't have any caffeine in it that I can see. Oh yes, it does. 150 milligrams of caffeine, which is roughly about half a coffee. A coffee is roughly between 200 to 250, so there's not much caffeine in there. There's taurine and acetyl-L-carnitine, which again are stimulants. Again, definitely a really good product to buy. If I was to choose 3 out of these, I would choose the pre-workout, the vitamin and the whey. So these are your 3 main ones if you are going to take these supplements. Now moving on to something that Again, I probably won't take, but we'll see. It's just been in my cupboard and I saw it in the back of there, and we'll see where we go. So, creatine, whatever you want to call it. This is Rich Piana's brand, Creatine. So, what this is it will, I don't know how to explain it more advanced than this. Basically, it will enable you to work out for longer. You will not feel the burn in your muscles as fast. So say for example your arms burn with doing 10 bicep curls on a certain weight, you could then not burn and do 12, is basically what it does. In a longer term, a longer way to say it, it will replace a compound that when you move them in your muscles, there's a tri-compound or a tri-connection, I can't remember the scientific word for it, but it moves out the way. Now because we're used to long distance running from when we're, even way back when we were still hunting as, for example, a tribe or something, we'd do long distance running, so we wouldn't have to replace this molecule as quickly, whereas what we're essentially doing by lifting weights is high intensity training, and this is where creatine comes into it. Creatine is naturally produced by your liver. It will then get pumped into your body, pumped into your muscle, sorry, and then replace and turn it into a three-part molecular bond. Now, by taking extra creatine, you're basically saying, here you go. You don't have to work this hard on that, and we'll do it for you. It helps. It really does. The only problem is, on a shred, is it will retain water in your muscles. So your muscles will look bigger, but you also look more bloated, which I think is more important for later on in the shred, where you start to get down to the really lean phases, where you're sort of like, okay, I'm losing a lot of mass here. Well, not mass, but I'm really depleted. I want to get a bit of size back on me for ready when I go down the beach or something. And I'm unsure again whether I'm going to take it. There's not really much you need to take from it. It's about 5 grams. And for those people that have taken it before, you do not need to use a load-in process on creatine. I don't know how many times people have said this. It's a marketing technique. Your body does not need a load-in process to get used to it. Marketing technique so that you use half a bloody container, then have to buy another one when you're halfway through the load, when you've just finished the load-in phase. It's absolutely disgusting. As I said earlier, the supplement industry is not as regulated as it should be. So, again, be careful, but a load-in phase is not necessary. Right guys, so I'm back. I hope you enjoyed that video. I just literally just uploaded the other video that I did the other day on the 22nd. This is the 24th today. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and comment. I'm not sure how well the other video did. I am currently at the moment trying to get some artwork and some pictures done, and maybe even an intro for my channel. As I say in the last video, I did do a lot of gaming, so I do know a few editors and things like that I might be able to get some work from, but I'm not sure if they're still about. If I do, and do get an intro, I will leave them down in the description. I will be putting music over this as well, so just like I did in the last one, it makes it a little bit more interesting, makes it less sound like I'm talking in an echoey room called my bedroom. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, leave a like, comment and subscribe. I will try and reply to all the comments if I do get any, not really sure yet. So we'll see what happens, and have a good day.